All right, joining us now, Liz Peek, syndicated columnist, Fox News contributor, and Rich Lowry, editor-in-chief of National Review. Welcome to both of you. Rich, I loved your column in the New York Post. I mean, basically, Charlie Kirk was doing for colleges and universities what they couldn't do for themselves: free and open speech and dialogue.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's this whole ideological and administrative architecture that was created to keep conservatives out of colleges. I mean, they were literally basically banned from faculties, and the cancellations and disinvitations and riots and all of it. And Charlie overcame that. And one reason this is such a shattering event for young, conservative young people, he overcame that. And then you had the most illiberal means possible used to silence a bullet.
I couldn't agree more. And you know, Liz, we've talked about this throughout the show. 37,000 new applications to start Turning Point chapters, which is remarkable. I mean, the left, which is increasingly violent and awful and evil-doing and whatever adjectives you want, the left is making a big mistake here, tackling the big mistake. And I think it's going to resonate. We had Brett Hume on earlier in the show. He thought so. I mean, I think that's one of the political elements of this grisly story.
I think that's right. I think an awful lot of people are coming face to face with what went wrong here. I think it isn't just the colleges, which has gone on for decades, and by the way, is horrifying. The fact that so-called intellectuals don't even want to have opposing points of view to stimulate debate or whatever is disgraceful. But I also think the Democrats have been pushing an incredibly bad message to our young people in this country. Ocasio-Cortez goes out there and says, billionaires are stealing from you. Elizabeth Warren says the game is rigged. You have no chance of getting ahead. You are not going to be able to live the American dream. What a message of despair and hopelessness is being basically perpetrated by Democrats, Larry. And I think you have a rise in suicide, you have a rise in violence. Young people are frustrated, they're angry, and they want to blame someone. And by the way, it's not just Charlie Kirk. It's also the head of United Healthcare. Luigi Mangione shoots him down because, oh, healthcare is taking advantage of Americans. This is a really bad situation, dangerous for our country.
So I'll ask again, it's the theme of the show today. Somebody who believed in free speech, free markets, and freedom in general is not a fascist.
Right. Yeah,
but Democrats continue to use that word, Hitler word, Nazi words, and those have become violent words. That's almost like the tip of the spear. You take it from that word on, and then you hate Charlie Kirk, or you hate Donald Trump, or you hate Eric Schmidt, who was on a moment ago, Senator Schmidt, and you're going to be violent. And that has to be stopped. That has to be called down and stopped.
Absolutely. Look at the text messages with this guy's boyfriend in the immediate aftermath of the assassination. What's the key couple sentences in there? I couldn't take the hate. Some hate can't be negotiated. So Charlie Kirk, who shows up at college campuses wearing a T-shirt, sitting in a chair, just letting any kid come up within feet of him and ask a question, treats them respectfully, and argue with them. He's the hater. He's the hater who says, boy meets girl, they should get married and have kids, and they'll be happier with that than any other lifestyle, which all the data confirms. He's the hater, and then you have this guy with the transgender roommate shooting down a father with 2 kids. You have the aberrant killing the normal.
No, it's a tragedy. But Liz, of course, I pray it will never be repeated here in New York, but we have our own little socialist communist Mamdani. New poll out today, still got a 15 or 20 point lead over everything. What's up with that?
Well, I think, again, I go back to the idea that young people have been told that the world is unfair, and the people in charge are making it unfair purposely. They are robbing you. And by the way, the biggest, if you look at polling of what do these people particularly upset about, it's housing. And I get it. Housing is extremely expensive. There's no question, particularly in New York, which is where this guy is running for mayor. It is extremely hard to live on any kind of normal budget. But the answer is not Mamdani's solution of capping rents, which any economic literate person will tell you will have just the opposite effect of running down the amount, the stock of affordable housing. That the answer is in bringing people in to build more, getting rid of the rules and regulations and constraints on new supply. I mean, economics isn't magic. More supply and you'll have costs come down.
You know, A lot of people said, let's wait and see, here in New York in the mayor, let's wait and see what September brings. That was a huge mistake when you look back on it. Mamdani wins the primary in June, early June, if I'm not mistaken, or mid-June. You had a couple months to find some kind of independent candidate and fund that person and then make a real fight. By the time you got to Labor Day and beyond this, and we're in the middle of September now, it was too late. He was out working the neighborhoods all summer long, building up his polling and his support. I mean, it was a huge mistake waiting until September.
Yeah, and consistent of all this polling is not just the 15 to 21% lead, whatever it is. He's popular, and all three alternative candidates aren't, right? So who's going to win? It's obvious. And even if they couldn't recruit a better independent candidate, at least start some super PACs to make the case against him. That's been absent as well. And the thing is, we see all the negative information about him, given, you know, we watch Fox, we who we follow on Twitter. But does the average Democrat in New York City hear any of this? No. And unless that happens, there's no chance whatsoever.
And especially young Democrats who have been fed since middle school a litany of excuses for why socialism is better than capitalism.
Yeah, by some of these teachers who are celebrating an assassination.
Yeah, totally. I mean,
and the winner is Elise Stefanik.
Absolutely. Can't wait to get behind her.
Seriously, because there is a Republican Party statewide, and she is fabulous. And I got to get out of here. Liz Peek and Rich Lowry. Thank you both. I appreciate it very much.